Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to do Fathom. Michael Turner did it. This is from Image Comic issue number one. I got, also another issue number one. It's the same, but with another cover. It's great. It's been years since I have read Fathom, so this is my second time that I'm going through it again. And to be honest, I cannot recall anything of it. Maybe because Fathom was not really my thing. Maybe, I didn't like the story or something. So let's see if it's interesting or good or not. So we begin here. This is in 1984. It seems that this ship here was missing for 10 years, and suddenly it came back. And there's people on it, and people are still alive, and I don't know if they remember anything or whatever. It's some kind of a Twilight Zone mystery. And then we see a young, I call her Fathom, but her name is Aspen. And Aspen has been, how do you say it? I believe she is adopted by this captain, I believe, of the ship. I believe that she was maybe a stowaway. I'm not entirely sure. It's pretty vague. And then we also see the military is here because, of course, they want to know where the final countdown came from. The final countdown, there's a movie called The Final Countdown, and it's about a ship that disappeared and came back to the past or present or future. It was a cool movie at the time, has some interesting tropes. But hey, they are here, and it seems that the passengers are being detained and being debriefed, etc. And but they wonder where this vessel went and how it came back. Maybe we'll get the answers, maybe not. Meanwhile, this I believe it's a general, I guess, called Blackbeard. Is he a general? Let me double check before I say something stupid. The same. I have no clue. Let's say he's a big shot, and it's called Blackbeard. So a couple of months ago, the U.S. George Washington is 95 miles north of Honolulu, Hawaii, and I don't know. They're doing flights, recon missions. I'm not sure exactly what they are doing. I'm not familiar with marine stuff at all. When it comes to military or marine stuff in general, I have zero knowledge. But it seems they picked up some bogies, and the bogies are underwater. And we see these colors here. And he says, we watched our speed. He matched our speed at 270 knots. And he's still under the surface heading 175 degrees. Nothing moves that fast underwater. That's not possible. It pulled a 180 without slowing down. John, tell me I'm not seeing these things. If I am, if you are, Jimbo. So it seems that whatever these creatures are going to the surface. We don't see them yet. But these people in the plane here, or pilots, see them, and then all contact is broken, and then they are screaming. And so this guy says, get me the Secretary of Defense. So, we're coming back to that a little bit later. Meanwhile, Aspen here is in San Diego, California, and she says, water is my life. I grew up with my adopted father, Captain Matthews, 5 minutes from the beach. I've been like a fish ever since. I studied the water at USC San Diego. Finally, one day at the end of forever, they put some alphabet soup after my name and called me a marine biologist. My friends tell me I'm obsessed with this stuff. Well, okay, I am. Basically, if I'm not in it or under it, I'm looking at through a microscope. I guess I've just got water in my brain. Okay. Great art by Michael Turner. Unfortunately, he passed away years ago, so that's a big loss for the comic industry. But this is not good looking at all. It seems they have pulled her body and just stretched it all up by like a puppet, like this. This is, I've seen a lot of Michael Turner's art. This is probably yeah, one of the worst mistakes here. Well, the upper body torso is, pretty good, but it needs to shrink it out a little bit. So again, also years ago, and what this image is, I don't know. We're gonna probably find out later or not. And I must say this comic is a little bit different than I read before. So I'm gonna show you what I mean. Because I thought this was the same comic, and now I just realized it a moment ago. So this is the same comic, right? Only it starts differently. See this? That's why I was a little bit confused. Because, you see this? The image is way different. That's pretty cool. Okay, and then we go to, this is the same, this is the same, this is the same. Okay, stay with me, guys. Okay. So she has now this watery, but then, all right. What does that mean? Is this some special edition or something that I have? I have both of them. I mean, is this the woman? Is this a guy? I believe this is a woman. And you see that the art here in this panel is way different than here. And also this here as well. And she has this mask on, and then here not. I wonder what changes there are more in this book. Well, the legs are still the same, by the way. Nobody fixed that. So, yeah, this is a little bit of a changing. It seems that when she was younger, she was learning to dive, and then she is seeing stuff, and it sees these people are just surrounding her, and the dialogue is different too. Let's start here because it's not what I remember. So she says, "I saw them. Men and women appeared out of water, like smoke from a smoldering fire. They were so beautiful. I was entranced. I was dizzy too. I realized I've been holding my breath since I dove in. When I tried to breathe, I got nothing. I was going blank, but oddly, I wasn't panicking. He was telling me I'd be okay. He was inviting me to come with them. Everything went white, and the next thing I remember, I was on the boat receiving mouth-to-mouth from the dive instructor with a circle of frightening faces around me." So she thinks he imagined that. But let me try this. So this is now totally different, right? If you can pause the video. They changed the complete dialogue, so I'm not sure which is the original and which is the alternative. This is very interesting. Anyway, she's then later being invited by a group of people, and she also meeting with her ex-boyfriend, who is a dick, and she doesn't like that at all. So this is a dive instructor. They're going to this pod, I guess, and they're going somewhere, and they're going diving, and the diving instructor tells them, about water pressure, and it basically said, if you are feeling that your innards are grinding against each other, tell me immediately. That's usually the first sign of pressure sickness. All right. And then they are going to wherever it's supposed to go. And this is some kind of underwater facility. And let me check if that's actually the same. Looks great. It's called the Deep Marine Discovery, short DMD. And they're being awaited by this guy called Alexander Jarvis. There's a lot of, people are involved. There's also a lot of talking. And hopefully it will become a little bit different in the couple of issues. I believe I got 6 of them, I'm not remembering it correctly. But there's a lot of talking and explaining. So it's very hard for me to get into this because I've been bombarded by information. With Aspen, where she came from, these underwater people, DMD, and these water creatures. I'm okay with that to a certain degree, but slow it down with the words, writer. But since this is in the 90s, I cannot be. It's different. So this guy leads them to the facility, and they need her expertise on something, and they need her on this. So they find some kind of a subaquatic transport vehicle, and so the director says, as a specialist in marine propulsion, you were brought here to give us some fresh ideas any questions so far. And of course, she's going in from what is it, where does it came from, who built it, what is it made of, what is the propulsion system used for fuel. And he says, whoa, we don't have answers to the most of those because, well, actually, we've been totally unable to get inside. And he also, since this vehicle cannot be moved, they built the whole facility around him, which is pretty cool, I guess. And then we also getting introduced to, I don't know, this guy, another guy. So it seems that this is on, I don't know, they have, I believe they are on some Japanese ground as well or something like that. And this guy's a mediator. So this is a collaboration between Japan and America, I guess, to find what's going on. Who this guy is, I don't know. He's just standing there not talking and shaking hands. Let's leave it for now. Maybe he's important, maybe not. Meanwhile, on the USS George Washington 24 hours later, so a couple of pilots go into air again, searching for these, bogies. They found some, and they have some special planes that can dive into water, which is pretty cool, I guess. More talking. But then also something comes out of the water and then shoots the other plane that's still above into smithereens, which, there's now a casualty. So this big guy, a military guy, says, tell him to break off. Joker, you will disengage immediately and return to the flight deck. Disengage? You took out my wingman. Give me that, Mike. Chances, this is Admiral Maylander. You will disengage at once. Do you copy? Negative, sir, he says. All right, pretty cool. The thing that I like about Michael Turner's art is his ability to really make exaggerating and outlandish designs that I really, really like. And they mostly also look a little bit, the same, but at the same time, it's fun to look at. So Aspen here is examining the surface along with her Japanese peers, but she's not allowed to talk to them. She says, the surfaces of the craft, it feels like shark skin, smooth from the nose to tail and jacket coming back. Its framework gives when I push on it. It's flexible. So it flows within the water instead of pushing through it and leaves a minimum wake. I wonder what my Japanese counterparts have drawn to the same conclusions. Too bad I'm not allowed to talk to them. Cool. So this director comes later to her and he says, I have something important to show you. 3 months ago, we have developed something new here at the DMD, one which ultimately led to your being invited down. Its ramifications are, if anything, more staggering than the discovery of the craft. Let me stress that what you are about to see is as secret as it gets. All right, pretty cool. So what we are going to see is, I don't know, underwater people, aliens or whatever. And Aspen says, it's him from my vision. He's beautiful. And he's dead. What a waste. So the director explains, 3 months ago, he walked into the DMD with a band of 10 of his people. Our security forces reacted hastily, I'm afraid. 5 of them were killed in the ensuing fight. You killed 5? Others like him? No, you misunderstood. 5 of ours were killed. It's all happening so fast. When it was over, his people withdrew. We put him in the tank where he's been ever since. At least you haven't dissected him. I suppose I should get started. You don't seem to understand, Mr. Matthews. He isn't dead. He's asleep. And pretty cool. Okay. So far, it all looks like each other. Let me skip in here. Yeah, it's basically the same. Okay. And then we see this beautiful, underwater craft. These guys are following it, seeing it for the first time. And say, what is that thing? Do you see that? No one's seen that. Diamond, I report certain that this is not, not a Japanese bogey. Joker, you will disengage immediately. Do you copy? Son, I will court-martial your ass. And Joker says, no, I got this son of a bitch. I don't think so, Chance. it's showing a negative impact. All right, this is interesting because so this vessel is here. It disappeared, teleported maybe, and the torpedo is still alive, and it was quite a new target, a big one. Diamond, we got a goddamn serious problem here. What? Shit. Well, probably you can guess what's happening. Yeah, the torpedo is going to this facility, and it's on a ramming speed. Now watch this face. Oh, all right. It's completely different. So now look at this. Remember this here and here? This is different. This is different. This is different. Maybe more? Yeah, this whole panel is different. Except for, well, a little bit like this. They completely redrew it. Maybe Michael wasn't satisfied with one of these panels and just decided, hey, I'm going to change everything. But they still were going in print with these. I'm not sure how that works, by the way. I mean, if you are printed, then that's good enough, right? I mean, I can see that. I think this is way better, in my opinion. But maybe they thought this was... This is a cool one. I need to research this part. I'm not entirely sure. But let's do this one. So there's an alarm going off. And so Aspen asked also before that, how on earth did you get him in these tanks? Did you resist? And how is he breathing? Actually requested a aqueous environment when he turned himself over to us. Apparently he's breathing after his usual fashion. But it means he's not human. No, Matthews, he's not. So then the alarm goes off. He wakes up. The torpedo comes. And so the only thing we see, attention all areas, we have a torpedo inbound. Stop whatever you're doing and begin immediately emergency evac procedures. I repeat. But I just got there. And that leads us to the next book. I wonder, no, the dialogue is completely different too. Yeah. This is unusual. I've never seen that before. Wow. And then, yeah, we've seen more ads. FATHOM, issue number 2. I have that as well. We're going to check that out. This is all the same, by the way. You remember probably the stuff, Darkness, very cool. Great stuff with, I believe his name, Joe Weems is the artist. Really cool. Top Cow stuff. I really like that. I wish they were still there, but, I believe since Michael Turner's death, they, I don't know, it didn't go well for them. Not sure what the reason was why Top Cow eventually, disappeared, or I don't know what. I really don't know. What I do know, this is a weird comic, and my only biggest concern, this is a lot of talking with less minimal action and a lot of exposure. We're going to find out what it all means, guys. Stay tuned. And we're going to see what it brings in FATHOM number 2. Guys, have a great day. I see you next time. Bye-bye.